Give me a moment of your focus, and I won't erase your weakness. I'll reveal it, not by flooding you with hollow motivation, not by handing you pretty phrases to decorate your denial, but by showing you what your weakness has always been. A misunderstanding, a warped reflection, a myth you've rehearsed until it became identity. If you stay with me, if you're willing to let this scrape at the parts of you that have gone untouched, something will shift, and what comes forward won't be an upgrade. It'll be a recovery, a return to the version of you that existed before the world taught you to betray it. Let's not romanticize Nietzsche. He didn't care for comfort. He wasn't writing to soothe the anxious. He was writing to wake the dangerous. He wrote for the ones who were done making excuses, for the ones ready to meet life on its terms, brutal, beautiful, raw. He wasn't offering you escape. He was handing you a weapon, not to destroy the world, but to confront the lies you built inside yourself. Because the truth is, you're not transforming, you're resurfacing. You're not becoming powerful, you've just stopped shielding it. Let's ask the question, what does it actually mean to be weak? Most people confuse it with emotion or softness or sensitivity. But Nietzsche saw it differently. Weakness is not feeling, it's fleeing. It's outsourcing your self-worth. It's swallowing your truth just to be palatable. It's calling fear humility and calling silence wisdom, when deep down it's just resignation. Weakness is not about what you lack, it's about what you allow. And here's the truth you were never meant to hear. You've been conditioned to stay weak, conditioned to confuse compliance with goodness, to confuse avoidance with peace, to confuse self-erasure with empathy. Schools taught you obedience, culture taught you performance, media taught you helplessness. Even love, in its twisted form, asked for your shrinkage in return for belonging. But Nietzsche saw it for what it was. He saw the slow death that happens when you forget who you are to please people who forgot themselves. He said, the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. That struggle isn't against fists, it's against fiction, against the false self you build to survive. So start here. You've been trained to believe that choosing yourself is arrogance, that asserting truth is aggression, that standing alone is failure. But Nietzsche flips it. Real strength, the kind that makes people remember you, begins when you stop needing to be liked. So who are you when no one is watching? Not the version you polished, the version that speaks before editing, moves before asking, walks away before explaining. Most people can't answer that, because most people haven't met themselves. They've only met their adaptations. But adaptation is not identity. It's camouflage. And Nietzsche? He had no patience for camouflage. He didn't want you polished. He wanted you piercing. Not loud, clear, because clarity cuts. And if your words don't make people pause, it's not because you're too quiet. It's because you're too careful. Let's talk emotion. Strength is not numbness. Strength is the discipline to feel without being ruled. It's crying and still acting. It's breaking and still building. Nietzsche never said, don't feel. He said, own what you feel, or it will own you. And the same goes for pain. You've been taught to wear your suffering like a badge, to center your identity around what hurt you. But Nietzsche didn't glorify pain. He transmuted it. He believed that pain, without movement, is just passive decay. That trauma is not what breaks you, it's what tests you. And your only job? Pass the test. Not by explaining your wounds, but by becoming someone they could never touch again. He wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But here's the twist. Your why doesn't find you. You forge it. You declare it. You discipline it into existence. Because when your direction becomes sacred, your distractions become irrelevant. And weakness, it starts to dissolve. Not with therapy, not with self-talk, but with decision. So decide. Who do you serve? What do you protect? What do you refuse to tolerate even one more day of? Write it. Repeat it. Ruthlessly. Because if you don't choose your standard, the world will hand you one. And it will be soft, and safe, and invisible. But that's not your path. Not anymore. Because if you're still listening, something in you has already shifted. You've already begun the process. You've already met the part of you that's dangerous. Not violent, not chaotic, but unyielding. Nietzsche didn't teach you to escape your weakness. He dared you to meet it in open battle, to drag it out into the light and burn it clean. Not to be perfect, but to be sovereign. That's the difference. So now we go deeper. We strip away the distractions. We face the delays, the avoidance, the procrastination, not as flaws, but as loyalties. You were loyal to your smallness, because smallness kept you safe. But now you outgrew the cage, and the rattling you feel inside, that's not anxiety, that's momentum. So lean into it. Cut the contracts you made with comfort. Shed the skin, not softly, ruthlessly. The people-pleaser, gone. The self-editor, gone. The endless apologizer, gone. Let's rebuild. Start with language. Stop saying, I don't know, when you do. Stop saying, maybe, when you mean no. Stop apologizing for needing space, time, clarity. Then your body. Stop folding. Stop hiding. Stand like the ground belongs to you, because it does. Your presence is your power. So own it, without effort, without noise. And finally, kill the addiction to victimhood. The world doesn't owe you empathy. It owes you nothing. Your pain, it's not a brand, it's a furnace. Use it. Speak your strength, not your scars. And if your story still controls you, rewrite it until it doesn't. Because you already knew all of this. You just forgot. But now, you remember. And that means there's no going back. You evolve, or you lie. So choose. Become the kind of person Nietzsche would fearlessly respect. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Because your presence speaks louder than your words. This is your foundation now. Protect it. Practice it. Build on it. Like your life depends on it. Because it does.